students, welcome to this chemistry class. The lesson for today is on the topic test for copper 2 ions. To test for copper 2 ions, you need a sample which contains copper 2 ions, like this one here, the sample D. You also need the reagents, sodium hydroxide and aqueous ammonia. And to start, you have to put the sample into a beaker like this, and you add some water. Why do we add some water? We add some water to dissolve the sample, and you stir. You are stirring to encourage the dissolution of the sample. The sample is soluble, as you can see. No particles are remaining. That means the sample is soluble. Then to about 2 cm cube of the sample in a beaker, to about 2 cm cube of the sample in a test tube, you add drops of sodium hydroxide. You add sodium hydroxide in drops first, and when you add, you observe a precipitate that looks like a gelatinous precipitate, blue gelatinous precipitate in drops. Then when you add in excess, sodium hydroxide in excess, you check, does the precipitate disappear or is it still there? The precipitate is still there. At this point, you will suspect the presence of copper 2 ions. You have to proceed to confirm the presence of copper 2 ions. You will take about 2 cm cube again of the same sample. For this time around, the reagent you're going to add is not sodium hydroxide but aqueous ammonia. And usually we add in drops first. What do you observe? First, you observe a pale blue precipitate, as you observed previously when we added sodium hydroxide. But let's add in excess and see what happens. If you add in excess the aqueous ammonia, you notice that the precipitate disappears. That means that the precipitate dissolves, giving us a deep blue solution, and that confirms the presence of copper 2 ions.